Welcome back to Giant Monster Week, and here it is, the last day of this marathon. With the review of Pacific Rim, went and saw it, IMAX 3D. It was awesome. This movie is definitely made for a certain audience. Like, you need to be into this stuff. I can see why it didn't do as good as I thought it was going to do at the box office, because this movie is made for a particular set of people. If you're really into giant monsters, movies that were on this Giant Monster Week, if you're into those kind of movies, if you're into giant mechs and stuff like Gundam Wing or anything like that, if you're into anime, like storylines and like battles and stuff, if you're into any of those things, this movie is for you. If you're just part of like the general public who just kind of has a passing interest in this, it could go either way if you like it or not. I would say it would even sway more of you would enjoy yourself. It'd just be a lot of fun. It's definitely just a big budget action popcorn movie. It's just a blast. Most of the characters are they're okay. None of them are really like awesomely stand out. There is one character who he's pretty good, he's pretty interesting, but his past and his just who he is, it's nothing new and it's nothing just like super stand out. It's just okay. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's well done, and he's probably the standout one for this movie, but he's not like a timeless character or anything. The effects I have to talk about of this movie, they are stunning and just awesome. They honestly just kick ass. I freaking love it. The robot designs and animations and action scenes and just everything with the robots is just really cool. The monsters are really cool too, but after a while though, it's kind of hard to tell them apart because they all do kind of look the same. They all kind of have the same face. They're all like the same color. Their body types are different, but one problem with this movie is there's a lot of close-up shots. There aren't very many full body shots where you get to see everything that's going on in the action. There's a lot of stuff that's going on really close up. But it's not a completely bad thing though, because with the camera being kind of close, when there's some action, like when a robot punches one of the monsters right in the face, you feel it, and it's pretty cool. So it's a good thing and it's kind of a bad thing. One thing I'll say that really did kind of annoy me is, for the most part, there's only like 3 battles in the movie, and every single one of them had water. It was either rain or it was just water, and the water kind of gets in the way. Like, you can't see the robots fully, or it covers up some of the monster. I mean, it's cool to see that, like, rain falling, like, on the robot, and you can see just how good the CG is and everything, and it looks really realistic and everything. And it just looks cool, but when there's really, like, splashing water and just everywhere, and it's just pouring rain, it's kind of hard to see what's going on. That's really my only gripe with this movie. The only other thing I could say, that I wouldn't say it's a con or a bad thing or anything, but I noticed a lot of similarities to Independence Day, which, depending on how you feel about that movie, can be a good or bad thing. I liked that movie. But there is the aliens coming down, and this movie and that movie, they're here for the exact same reason. There is an authority figure who should, not be in the battle or anything, but, he joins the battle at the end, and then there's the speech. Happens in both movies. I just thought it was kind of funny. I noticed it while I was watching it, and I just kind of thought it was funny. In conclusion, it's just a really fun popcorn movie. Like I said in the beginning, if you're into giant monsters, if you're into giant robots, if you're into anime, if you're into like video games, this movie's for you. It really is. And if you're not really into any of those things, I would say stay away from this, but even then, I could still see the general person enjoying this. If you got some enjoyment out of Cloverfield, or if you even mildly liked the Transformers movies, then I could see you getting some enjoyment out of this. I went and saw this in IMAX 3D, and it was awesome. I highly recommend you going to see it that way if you have access to it. The 3D was pretty good. There were some scenes that were just really, really awesome looking. I feel like the 3D could have been utilized a little bit more though. There wasn't very much foreground and background. There wasn't a lot of like depth going on most of the time, so it could have been used a little more in that. But there were some really good shots that looked good in 3D. But the main reason for IMAX 3D is just the IMAX. To have that gigantic screen so you can watch these giant monsters and giant robots. And the sound, oh my god, that IMAX sound system, that is what you need for this movie. It's one of those kind of movies. 31 Film Talk grade for Pacific Rim. This is just because I fall into, I think, the target audience of this movie. A-. I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. So this concludes Giant Monster Week. Thank you for anyone who may have watched or is going to discover these videos along the way. Make sure to check out all the other videos from this week. I reviewed Cloverfield, I reviewed The Host, I reviewed a Gamera movie, and I reviewed the very first Godzilla movie. So if you're just kind of coming across this video, go check out those reviews too. There's just a lot of fun doing this for an entire week. So check them out. I'll see you guys next time.